On a freezing February night, an entire American city began to burn, and no one knew how to stop it. It started quietly, almost politely, in a downtown warehouse after sunset. A small flame, a wisp of smoke. But the wind that night had teeth. It caught the fire and dragged it forward, block by block, feeding it wooden roofs, oil-soaked floors, and narrow streets built for another century. By midnight, Baltimore's sky glowed orange, as if dawn had arrived early and angry. Fire bells rang until they were drowned out by the roar. Horses screamed. Brick cracked like gunfire. Men ran hoses through smoke so thick it erased direction itself. They aimed water at walls of flame that only laughed and climbed higher. Sparks leapt across streets like living things, landing, waiting, then exploding into new infernos. Here's the terrifying truth. This wasn't one fire. It was hundreds, born faster than anyone could kill them. Firefighters poured in from surrounding cities, hauling unfamiliar equipment, desperate to help. But when they connected their hoses, the fittings didn't match Baltimore's hydrants. Water flowed too slowly, or not at all. Precious minutes slipped away as the fire surged forward, unstoppable, indifferent. By the second day, the heart of the city was gone. Banks collapsed, newspapers burned before they could print the disaster unfolding around them. Churches lost their bells. Businesses that had stood for generations vanished in hours. Residents stood on rooftops, watching their livelihoods dissolve into embers, clutching ledgers, photographs, anything they could carry that proved their lives had once existed. And still, the wind refused to die. At the peak of the chaos, the fire stretched across dozens of city blocks. Soldiers were called in. Buildings were dynamited, not to destroy them, but to save what lay beyond. The ground shook. Smoke blotted out the sun. Baltimore looked less like a city and more like a battlefield abandoned by hope. Then, after 30 relentless hours, the flames finally slowed. Not because they were defeated, but because there was almost nothing left to consume. Over 1,500 buildings were gone. Yet here is the part history remembers quietly. No one died in the fire itself. From the ashes rose a lesson written in smoke. Cities must speak the same language when disaster comes. Building codes changed. Fire equipment was standardized. Streets were rebuilt wider, stronger, wiser. Baltimore rebuilt itself not just from rubble, but from understanding. The city burned so others wouldn't have to. If stories like this keep you listening, help the channel grow. Like the video, share it with someone who loves history, subscribe for more true stories, and leave a comment with what moment stayed with you the longest.